Yo.
What's going on? What's going
What's
on?
up? What's up, my
It's been a
brother?
while, but
We're
we back
here.
on.
Yeah, we're back. We're
Yes,
back. We're
sir.
back.
Yes, sir. Listen,
Yes.
it's been a while. We're gonna try to keep getting this better. I keep saying it, right? So let's start off by saying, "What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Endzone
Blue.
Sports Podcast. Just a couple of guys arguing sports.
Yes.
That's what we do. So grab a drink, sit back, and let's talk sports all year long, baby. Let's get
Yeah,
this
buddy.
going. We missed a lot as we
Yes.
started this
Yes.
as we start this episode, right?
Yeah.
So what's going on now? I guess that's the most important part in sports is NBA, right?
Play.
I know
You
you're a
know what? I
Celtics
don't even
fan.
want to talk about it.
I can
You know,
understand.
I'm
I
a
can understand
conspiracy
why.
theorist, and I'll tell you the truth. Something happened in that game. Either the league or Vegas wants the Knicks in the finals, so they
Is
figured,
that you
you
think that's
know,
what it is?
yeah, because they stuck Joel Embiid with this Bane, Bane from
Yeah,
from
yeah.
from Batman, that serum, and all of a sudden he was healthy for 3 games, enough to 3 games to come back and beat the Celtics. You know, there's so many things that went on in that game. Let me tell you, I really don't want to talk about it because it brings back, not
No,
not so good
I can
feelings.
understand why, right?
Yes,
My main
yes,
question for you, right? What
yes,
two?
sir.
I got two. What was Tatum's injury for him not to play in a game seven?
Man, bursitis. I don't even know, man. Is it, you know? Listen, I tell everyone I'm a Jalen Brown fan, true and true. Jason Tatum, I'm still disappointed. Yes, he's a talented player. He's a superstar in this league, probably even top 10 player in the league. Um, but again, it's game seven. It's the playoffs. You're back. Do you want to play or not? You know what I mean?
100%.
You know, come out and play.
Was it a
You
leg
know,
injury? Like, was
It was
it
a
like?
knee injury, they said, but again, with the fear of, you know, since he tore his ACL or whatever he did, I get it. I get it. You don't want to re-injure yourself to the point where you don't want to come back. But
Yeah, but
I'm
you
go
already
ahead.
went full speed.
Yeah,
Why
that's
fear?
what I'm saying. It's you know, it's like you could come back next season and hurt your knee again. Like
Yeah,
dude,
that
come
can
on.
happen anywhere.
You know
And
what I mean?
my other thing is, why wasn't your addition that you added on in the middle of the season?
That's the
Why
other
didn't he
question
see the
I
court
have. Conspiracy theory number two. Why is Vucevic in the bench
bench? Yeah,
knowing we need a center? Nobody mentioned anything about that, not even the announcers. We had Jalen Brown and Derek White D'ing up Joel Embiid.
yeah. That's
Because your other
crazy.
two big men were on the bench with foul trouble. Like, come on, Brad Stevens. You know what I mean? Again, conspiracy theory number three. How is a 7 footer, 300 pounds getting calls by just throwing himself on the
Oh,
ground?
bro, let
Let's come
let's not even talk
on.
about that, man.
You know what I mean? Like, Hugo Gonzalez, guy 6'6", probably 220, pretty decent size, bigger on my size, similar to me when I used to wear the trench coat playing football. No, not the
The
trench
triple
coat,
fat
triple
goose,
triple
the triple
fat
fat
goose
goose.
underneath my sweater when we played football growing
Yeah,
up.
man, the triple
Um,
fat goose.
running through a pick and roll, and like it wasn't to me. I'm telling you, it didn't even look like a steamroll. It just boom, head up, and boom.
Bro,
Like,
he
dude,
might
you
be
call it?
he might be the softest, dirtiest player in the league. Like even in the Knicks series just
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
like the way he would fall down, am I the only one seeing that? It
No.
looks like he's leading with a knee to injure someone on the ground. Like
Oh,
he's just dirty. And I'm gonna tell you, there's two players, right, that seem to flop and get every fucking call in the world. It's him and Shea. Like
Shay.
I like Shea, but he gets you talk about the
Yeah,
whistle
yeah.
loving him. And
I'm.
I get it. He's a great player. You're supposed to protect him, and
Hmm.
I understand all that bullshit. But most of the time, when he tries to get off a shot, he pushes off, which doesn't get
Yeah,
called
yeah.
at all.
And if you look, he when he drives in, he pulls his head back, does that, that neck jerk back. You know, it's
I'm not a fan of the game, like of his game. Like
yeah.
I don't even Jason Tatum. I don't. I'm a Duke fan. I've seen him there. Jason Tatum's game is awkward. Like it's just very. He looks awkward. Like the way
He does. Dude.
I don't know. Same thing with.
I think
they just got
I
to.
think he suffers anxiety or some shit.
He got to suffer with something.
You know,
he's got to
back
suffer
to
with
Tatum,
something.
back to Tatum real quick. To me, again, I'm still disappointed from the Golden State series, the finals, the Golden State final series, where he didn't come through. Even when we beat Dallas, he was supposed to be our go-to guy. Jaylen Brown took over not only on offense but on defense, and they still give the praise to this guy. You know, show us a little something more. You know what I mean? You know, in this situation, you're back. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can play. It's game 7. I got it. Didn't want to do it. The other conspiracy theory number 4, Peyton Pritchard. Why didn't Peyton Pritchard take over the game like he usually does? The guy didn't even have I think he only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter on with a 10-point lead, Sixers lead.
Well, that sounds like Karl Anthony Towns for me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, conspiracy theories. You know, too
so
much money involved.
You're still in the mindset of if one star's got to go, it's Tatum, right?
No, I don't want to I say stick with the whole squad. We don't have to break it down.
I don't think so. That's a lot of money.
You know
involved,
what,
man.
You know what? You got enough money this is a deep draft coming up. Not only that, but you have enough money to go ahead and bring in another similar type of center. We need big men who could play. You know, big men who could step in and just, I won't go after Giannis. I think, Giannis,
I saw a room. I was just going to mention that. Like I saw some things that like the Celtics getting rid of one involving in a trade. Like, I would, because it's Giannis. Of course, you're going to say yeah. But if I'm losing Brown, I would say no. So again, we have Tatum.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Derek White, by what he did in the Latin game 7, proved that he still got it. So you got to keep a Derek White. I would keep Sam Hauser. He proved he could play defense this year and still knock down threes.
Yeah.
And the Amos Keita, he played well. You know what I mean?
He stepped. He had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
Like, for someone that no one's ever really heard of, he had a pretty good season.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. Let's have one more season, another run.
How about the coach?
I'll keep the coach too. Again, it's what kills us is the threes at the end of the day.
Bro, you guys got everybody chucking those shit. If you're missing or not, you guys are chucking away.
But again, it boils down to, do they really want to win? Because if when you see games like that, you see it from teams who are tanking. When you see that style of play towards the end where everybody's wanting to just, they want to chuck threes. I'm like, you don't do that. Like, come on, man. So I'm, like I said, I have a lot of questions with this game of why we lost. And I just hope they don't break the team up. Give it one more run. And then, the guys are still young. These guys haven't hit 30 yet. Give it one more season. And if not, if you start seeing that, you don't think, bring another big man. If you can't re-sign a Vucevic, bring in another big man. Have a 4 big man, have a rotation of 4 big men. You could keep Tatum at the 4. You could go ahead and play small ball with these guys.
Yeah.
And probably even draft. It's a deep draft. You could be able to go.
Finally, it is a deep draft. Yeah. Like, normally, these drafts are terrible.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We'll talk about the NBA draft as well. My next question, right? I'm gonna have to rep my boys because this is what we do. These guys are blowing it up. They killing the game right now.
Yes.
Do you think the Celtics had a shot against these boys? The way they're playing right now.
As you heard me before many times, if there was a team I feared, it was the Knicks. And I think they would win in probably 6. I'm being honest. The Knicks would win in 6. I think the Celtics would have pulled off a couple of games. If Tatum was healthy.
More the TD bank, whatever you guys call it, the Garden, the fake Garden.
TD Garden.
It's more difficult to play than Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
It's more difficult to play in Philly because we take
Parquet
over Philly.
floors.
I think it's harder to take over
Yeah.
Boston Garden. But, bro, I think the last time we spoke, or the one before, or that episode before the last one, we spoke about how Bridges was pissing me off and Cat was pissing me off. Like, I didn't understand. Bro, after that game, too, we lost to Atlanta. To run the ball through Cat instead of Jalen was the best decision they made. They are running teams out of the court. It's like everyone is joining in the fun. And I don't know if you know, but I've been real like outspoken about how much I don't like Miles McBride. I'm not a big fan of the guy.
Yeah. Came through this game too.
He has been stepping up with OG being out. So my question for you, being you have a lot of basketball knowledge, right? Do you think is it a negative or a positive with all this time off for the Knicks?
I think, you know what? I think it's a positive. Gives OG a chance to heal up. You know, I think they're fine. They if let's say they play Detroit, who I think you guys went was it
0-4, and we lost by like a
0-4.
total of like 20 something points a game.
You guys need that rest. You guys need that rest. But Detroit is going to also, you know, they're having a tough series with Cleveland. Now it's 2-2 due to the refs. But you ain't hear me say that. But
conspiracy. I get it.
Conspiracy number 5. Damn
NBA
making me lose money on FanDuel. Yeah. So I would say the rest is going to do them well. I think so. I think they'll be fine and they'll be ready. You know, as long as you know the rotational players continue doing what they're doing, like McBride and
Alvarado, Clarkson, Shamet,
exactly.
Mitch Robinson,
you know
dominated Embiid.
They're they're stepping up. They're doing their thing. I hate the hack of Mitch, but you know, he's still gonna continue.
I don't think I don't think they'll ever stop it though.
No.
Because they never did. They never figured out a way to. I guess they tried to help out Shaq when they used to do it to him, which was like under 2 minutes, blah blah blah, all that extra crap. But it's such a. I don't know. I guess it's because it's being done to my team. Like it's so corny. Just let the guy play. Like he's not gonna outdo you on the offense. Like he's only picking up garbage. That's what he does. But it's so corny. Man, it just pisses me off because he's vital on the court. Like when he's on the court, he makes it happen.
Yeah.
So I think kind of a fucked up rule, but
yeah, I think Detroit will still beat Cleveland. I didn't like the deal they made for Harden. I think they should have kept Garland, but you know,
could he be like one of the most overrated playoff players in the league ever? Like
this guy, you know, he wants to be the man every year. You know, he plays 2 seasons and then wants to go redo his contract because he has that option.
And then wants to get traded.
Out. Yeah, wants to get traded. Not happy here, not happy there. You know, again, you know,
but if you play Detroit, that's the players nowadays.
Yeah.
Back in the days, you never heard of Patrick Ewing wanted to get traded because he wasn't happy.
No.
Michael Jordan. Name me a huge trade that happened back in the days. They didn't really happen.
No.
I remember the trade deadline in NBA would be the quietest thing in the world.
They didn't want to.
Now these stars, they took over the game, and they get what they want.
They have a trade dedeadline show on ESPN.
Yeah, listen, the NBA. We're gonna talk about the NBA what they're trying to do, which is a joke. But I don't know. I feel like I feel the same way with you with the whole topic of rest is better than like getting to play right away because we're hot. OG's a big piece of this team, and without him, I don't think you stand a chance against more Detroit than Cleveland. Even though I like a lot of people are saying that Cleveland's not gonna, they will blow them out. I don't really see that because Donovan Mitchell at times does have like great games against the Knicks.
Great games against.
And then you still got Jarrett. Is it Jarrett Allen?
Jarrett Allen, Evan
Mobley. So they're two big centers that you would have. But the way they're playing and what I heard from Coach Brown, because I was ready to run him off the town too. Is that supposedly, like, all we heard throughout the year was, oh, we're gonna take it, like, it wasn't specifically said, but it looks like, we're gonna take it easy throughout the year, and then when playoff time comes, we're gonna kick it up another notch. And I feel like, I don't think this whole running through Cat thing was involved in the offense. I think it just came up because they saw in game 3 that it was working a little bit. So game 4, let's run that. And he stated that we never really got to work on that. And I feel with this time off, they can work on it and run some more better plays to involve everyone, because last series we played every other day. You don't really rest. You don't really practice on an every other day schedule. So I feel like that could be a benefit for us. And just the health, man. You got to get these guys healthy.
You got to, exactly.
Josh Hart, just not, even if he's not hurt, just the way he plays the game, he needs a break.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility of us starting the game 1 or whatever day it is sluggish? Of course, but that could be any game.
Which they shouldn't. They should be fresh and ready, especially if they play Detroit. You want to prove you could beat Detroit, and Detroit has been. These playoffs have proved Detroit can be beaten.
Yes.
Orlando took them to 7 games. The series is tied with Cleveland. To me, the way when I watch Detroit play, I see if you shut down Cade, they really don't have a second superstar.
100%.
You got guys. You got like Toby Harris, right? Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, playing well, but he's a veteran. He might not come back next season. Duran's been playing hurt.
They got really good role players, but not a second option.
They don't have the second superstar team. They play a hell of a defense. Guys know when to shoot threes and make threes. Duncan Robinson doing, making the shots. Who's the other guy? The kid from Villanova? I think it's with them.
Which one?
Oh, not Jenkins. I can't get his name out.
We'll look it up. Keep
is
going.
it Jenkins? I think it's Jenkins. Or he may not be from Villanova.
No,
wasn't the shooter. The shooter.
Not from Villanova, though.
Not from Villanova. He's not from Villanova.
Let me see.
Yeah, is it Jenkins?
I'll find it out for you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It is
so
Jenkins.
Again, it is Jenkins, the shooter.
Denise Jenkins. Dennis? That's a point guard. That's Dennis Jenkins.
Jenkins. Danish Jenkins. Point guard. That's him.
Yes.
He's been knocking down. You got great defense from Sore Thompson, one of the twins.
That's
twins. He's not as good as his brother, but he plays hella defense, and that's something that.
And he does give Brunson problems.
Yes, and you got to give credit to JB Becker's staff. These are coaches who bounce around, who try to go ahead and help these young teams get better. And once they get better, they bring in a Doc Rivers, a Mike Brown, one of these veteran coaches to go ahead and take over the squad. But he has done an amazing job there at Detroit. But again, I think the Knicks are hot right now, and the league is behind them. I think they shouldn't have a problem, taking it all the way, at least to the NBA finals.
Anything. I don't want to say it, but like anything other than that is a disappointment. Like, I get the whole fact of Detroit beating the hell out. They beat the brakes out of the Knicks, right? But the way the Knicks are playing, it's different. Like, they kicked it another notch. Like, it's not only on the offensive side of the ball. They're playing like, I never thought Cat could play defense. He's playing defense. I see Brunson going out there, still getting tossed a little bit, but doing what he has to do to stop a player. It's just all working. Bridges is finally waking up. Like, the team, to wake up. Do they have enough to get to the championship? I do. I believe it. To win it, I can't say that they do. Like, I would love to say it, but the two teams that worry me is, and it sucks, they're in the West, which is Oklahoma City and the Spurs. But the Spurs are having trouble, and I think the Spurs, I would rather play the Spurs if we do get to the finals than Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But But I feel like San Antonio will give the Oklahoma Thunder a problem. Like I think they match up better.
Yeah.
But
They beat them a few times this season.
yeah, but man, the playoffs is just a different story, bro. Like
It is a
that's
different.
like,
It is.
bro. Like what OKC the like they dominate in every game. Like it's
talking about coach's system. Like I said, JB Bickerstaff, the Oklahoma City head coach. Since for the past few years, past few seasons, he has these guys playing defense, you know, running the game through to SGA. You got a young center in Holmgren. This guy's hurt, but he should be back hopefully soon. Williams, Jaden Williams.
yeah.
But you got these draft picks who who this team drafted a few years back, and not only that, they made one of the best trades in the trade deadline
Oh,
by
McCain.
acquiring McCain, who this guy's lights out. I think I saw he was 9 for 11 from
He might
threes.
be a little this,
Hey
but the
man,
boy could
he
shoot.
likes doing TikTok videos, man.
Yeah, but my daughter likes to dance that way too.
Yeah, okay.
But
What can you do?
it is. But it was a great addition. Great addition.
Yes. We'll see if they're able to.
I don't understand why Philly would trade. I don't understand. Like
Philly,
that's
Philly,
probably the two
Philadelphia.
dumbest trades in the world. The two dumbest trades in the world that happened this season during the season was McCain going to Oklahoma City, right? But so let's also give props to the general manager in OKC, who was a hell. I think it's Presti, hell of a guy who does a great job. And the Pacers traded him for Zubac.
Oh,
you just lost a top 5. You probably lost on Caleb Williams.
They were expecting to get a top 4 pick in the draft, but you know how these ping pong balls end up, and you know how they
dumbest shit in the world. Listen, we're gonna get to that, man.
Teams end up with the frozen envelopes. You know how it is, man.
Yeah, how Cooper Flag all of a sudden went to Dallas. Like we said, we'll get to that. We will get to that. But yes, and you know what's crazy about OKC, bro? They have a bond. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Like they all get along. Like I don't care what no one says. That's probably the most important part of a of a team. Even at work, when you work, it's bro. If you guys get along,
every player knows their role in that team.
100%.
From Alex Caruso coming off the bench and playing defense, for Jared McCain knocking down the. When you really look at it, basically the whole team can shoot threes.
Yeah.
If you really look at it,
Isaiah Hartenstein, he knows his role.
He knows his role exactly. They know what to do.
They got a hell of a team, man.
They do. We'll see how they continue. And the craziest part, you got your 3 top players signed. That's for the next few years, and extra draft picks. That team is serious, man. If a team could get Giannis, it's OKC.
Shit, with all the draft picks they got, and let's not. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Chet said some crazy shit. How he said if he would play ball back in the days, he would dominate. Take it easy, young fella. You too skinny.
Too slim.
His ankles are like this big. Relax.
You get a guy like Tom Chambers, or even what? I was watching whose podcast? McCants podcast.
Oh, I don't know the name of it.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yes.
And they were discussing. Rasheed Wallace was discussing about how he when he got into the league, how he ran into a guy by the name of Joe Klein. I don't know if you remember Joe Klein. Probably was
sounds
a little
familiar.
Probably just when you was probably getting up there to your teenage years, maybe. Played for the Bulls. White guy, nice pushback. Again, one of these, big guys. Rasheed Wallace said he was playing against him. Try to bang him down low. Scored on him. The guy was like, "Don't do that again. Don't do that again. Coming back down." Rasheed Wallace tried to do the same thing he did before. What happened? Got knocked down to the ground. Boom. Because these players were strong back in the day. They may not have been, athletically gifted. Like some of these guys, that are now. But these guys were strong. These were men. These weren't kids coming out of college. 100%. These were men. You would fill the screens when when they set a screen. You would fill.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and listen, this always goes back to me describing how like the the whole Jordan and LeBron debate. Like we're gonna have to have an episode just to discuss stuff like that. Because listen, he's one of a kind body wise, right? But bro, like it was different playing back then, man. Like these players that complain about every fucking thing now, would they have been able to control, like to handle that? Bro, like you're talking about somebody driving down the lane and catching an elbow like what Wemby did to this guy on a normal basis.
Daily game, every
and then
game.
they would get up, grab each other up, go right back to play. Like, bro, like these players aren't about that, man. You see LeBron, like, bro, like he'll get hit in the head like a feather and he'll go on the ground. He'll start like, come on, man. Like you can't be wanting to be the greatest and that. Like I never seen Kobe do that. Like I lose respect when it comes to stuff like that. But talking about LeBron, right? Let's get to the point, right? Got run off the court. Should he come back for another year?
No, retire. You have nothing to prove. Because again, to certain people, he's at least minimum top 3 greatest ball players of all time. Discussion wise. You know what I mean? There's certain players who, it depends the eras. I know these guys, they played more physical back in the days, but a lot of these guys right now are athletically gifted. Some guys, with the ability to shoot from everywhere. Back in the days, you had your 5 and 4. Everybody knew where to be. Now you get your 4s and 5s. You're running your offense through your 5, through your center, through your power forward, through your big man. Small forwards are running the game right now. With the ball, 2 guards. It ain't the original point guard. It's tough to find, 2 point guards in the league. There are a few, but again, it's era wise, it's kind of crazy, man. But
listen, he did put up some good numbers. Like you can't take that from the guy.
Yeah.
Right. He averaged 20, let's say 21 points a game, 7 assists. What was it? Six rebounds a game.
He outplayed SGA in these playoffs.
But the team is like, and that's another thing that scares me. And I say why the whole resting is more important, because with Luka on that team, ailing still a hamstring for however long it was, would have been different. 100%.
Yeah.
You're talking about one of the top players in the league.
Yeah. Would have been a better series. Oklahoma City may have still won, but Lakers could have probably put a few games.
Yeah. I think I think it's time for him. He should just ride into the sunshine. But I don't see it happening. I don't. I see
to win another championship, maybe.
Come on, man. But now there's rumors going around how they're heavily going to pursue Giannis. Like, that's the reason why I don't respect him. Like, I don't. Like, Breadman, you can say whatever you want, and I can agree with you. Where he is the best player that I've seen play.
Yes.
From Jordan. I'll take Jordan and Kobe over him in a heartbeat, right? I would. That's me, right?
Yeah, that's your.
Those are 2 players. And I get pissed off to the point where they sit there and they say, people like fans of LeBron who like envy him and don't really follow basketball but follow him, which is not a real fan of me, which we can discuss on another time. And they say like, oh, he's this, he's that. Yeah, but Jordan never reached out to his boys and said, let's join together. And then I get thrown, oh, he had Pippen. Yeah, Pippen was drafted by the Bulls. Then, oh, he had Rodman. Yeah, he's the only person that was able to talk to his management and said, I can control the guy, because no one wanted him left. No one wanted him on the team. Tony Kukoc he had. Did he have Tony Kukoc?
Yeah.
Wasn't he drafted
by the Bulls? But again, those are points, that people really don't talk about when it comes down to Michael Jordan. That he did have, one of the greatest rebounders on his team, defensive player, rebounder. He did have, one of the best shooters in Steve Kerr and John Paxson, guys who could knock down the ball. Best international player, again, But I
But
see what
Redman,
I
he
see your
never
point. I see
had
your
top
point.
5 players play with him. You can say
Listen, when
whatever you want and how great Scottie Pippen
Scottie
was.
Scottie
He was
Pippen,
not a
but
top 5 player in that league.
he never advanced past I think the first round or something until Scottie Pippen came around. You know,
Yeah.
so
So what?
that's
And
another
the
thing.
thing, why
It's
couldn't LeBron do that?
you know he didn't really have players like that. I don't know. Again, me personally, I always say he never had his best team was when he was in Miami. You know,
But Redman, Cleveland wasn't bad. Come on.
not when he
He had
not
the
with Mo
best point
Williams.
guard in the league. He had Kevin Love, who
Oh,
wasn't good at all.
when he
Like
came
he,
back. Oh, when he came back, yeah,
oh yeah.
sure.
Listen,
And he did win a championship, but that was the time when this guy already started revolutionizing the game. Steph Curry, knocking with the 3 pointers and stuff,
but
and
listen, us
you
just
know,
stop because like
yeah,
I said,
man,
we like.
it's a
I
tough.
want to get
We could
everybody
spend,
on. I want to
I'm
get
telling
Paulo on.
you,
I
we
want to
could
get
spend
Mike
a
on.
whole show
Bro, we'll
discussing the
probably go over an
LeBron
hour with that
James.
shit too.
Probably.
But
You know
I'm
what?
gonna agree with you
He
and
wants to
say,
come to Boston. That's what it is. But come on to
listen, I
Boston.
don't
We'll
want him in New
welcome
York. And what I get more mad is I
you.
get more mad about the fans. Like these fans, like I remember when I used to work at the barbershop, like
Yeah.
that was my main argument of like, oh, your Knicks suck. I said, okay, who do you like? Oh, I like Cleveland. Okay, but the following year, who do you like? Oh, I'm a Miami fan. Hold on. So you're not a fan of the game. You're
Yeah,
a
you're
fan
a
of
fan of LeBron James.
yeah,
That's what
and,
I'm
and
saying.
I'm pretty sure when before that you were a fan of Jordan because so you just want to
Mhm.
win all the time. Like I
Yeah,
get it,
yeah.
but like I said, we'll have like an episode and we'll call it the LeBron debate and we'll just go in about it, right? But I do agree with you where I think he should hang him up. Let his and hold on, you do know you saw the video that I sent you earlier. The
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
with the long hair with
Yeah.
the big nose. I
The
don't know
beak.
his name. He played.
Yeah,
I think he's for ESPN. I think it's Nick something, right? I don't know if these comments, these like sports guys that are on TV, I don't know if they say shit just to be like
that's
what
what
like the
they
one
do.
who said
Listen,
some. But
yeah,
like,
they,
did you hear what
they
he
do
said?
that all
How
the time.
for like the Lakers to get back in this series against OKC, Bronny has to play. Like
No,
he
it's
like, and then you want to sit there and everyone took when Boston got eliminated by the Sixers, he was one of the main guys saying, "Oh, if the Knicks played the Sixers round one, it was Sixers over them. Now Sixers are the best team." Like I think they just talk to just say, "Oh,
no.
this is
That's all
like,
they do. That's all they do.
oh, I can't stay." He's one ugly
These
fucking creature too.
so-called so-called experts or people they bring in to go ahead and they do it just for clicks, for likes.
100%.
You know what I mean? For people, you know, to start controversies, to keep it talking, to keep talking about it.
And this is
Like,
the
oh, look
guy
what
I'm
he
talking
said.
about. That's the guy
Yeah,
I'm talking about right there.
yeah,
That guy.
yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
stand
he's
his
one of them.
face.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah, he's one.
he has that face that you can just punch, just smack him in the face. That jerk off.
You don't know. These guys, half these people, like the
Yeah,
scouts who, say this person's gonna be great.
yeah. Scouts are a joke too.
Let me get a
Scouts are a
scouting
joke.
job.
So, like I said, I both agree with you. One thing we missed, right, that I wanted to talk about that we discussed about it before.
Mhm.
Like I think we're pretty much done with talking about NBA playoffs right now, right? We got
Yeah, yeah,
Knicks who
yeah.
advance, OKC who advance, dominating their series, both on
Hmm.
a sweep. We got 2-2 on the Detroit Piston game, which is
Yeah.
I think probably gonna go 7. And then we got 2-2 right now with the Spurs and Wolves, which is kind of
Well,
shocking because with the injuries they had. And I
yeah,
think the
that's
Spurs are up like 4 right now in the third, right?
okay. Yeah. The
I
Spurs,
think they're up.
yeah, they're up by like 10.
Yeah. So now we'll get back to one thing that we discussed that I wanted to talk about like
Hmm.
last week, but we weren't able to get on. Do you agree with the rookie of the year?
You know what? That 50-point game put him over the hump. It's like two fighters, you know. I used to be a boxer. For those who don't know, I showed the picture last episode. At the end, um, it's like two fighters going at it. All the way to the end, and the last round, one of the fighter ends up pulling. the victory. And seeing Cooper Flag dropping to 50, I think that's what, made him, you know, because the race was close. The
But
race was close. Me personally, I see why they voted Cooper Flag. You know, Conkinipple deserved it. Conkinipple.
Con Knipple.
But Conkinipple. One of
Con
the best
fucking
names.
Knipple.
One of the best names in the league. But again, I see why they voted for him. I,
All right,
I won't. I
I'm gonna
won't.
read you off some stats, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Of what they finished with, right? Khan played 81 total
Mhm.
games, finished with 18 and a half points, 5 total rebounds, 3.5, so I guess 3 or 4 assists a game.
Mhm.
He led the NBA rookie in
Mhm.
3-pointers made, which is huge. Now we'll get free throw, same old crap. Field goal percentage from 3. He shot 47 from the field, 42 and a half from 3-point. My lord, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get to Cooper Flag, right? He played 70 games, finished with 21, 6.7, and 4.5 assists a game, shot 47% and 29 from 3. Right now, this to me is what I would have said. I would have gave the award to Khan. 44 and 38, 26 and 56. You took a team that went to the playoffs, I think the year before, didn't go, had a terrible year last year, and you can't sit there and say he didn't help out. I just showed you his numbers, and he had him 6 games over 500.
What
That
I'm
to
gonna
me
say,
put him over.
what I say about that is, if you compare rosters, you know, they had Anthony Davis in the beginning of the season. He got traded. The worst moves they ever made. I'm glad.
Beyond.
Yeah. You also had Kyrie out for the season. You know, he was their main guy in Dallas. In Charlotte, Knipple did had Melo Ball and Brandon Miller. Two young, amazing talents. That
And
team is,
Bridges.
and Miles Bridges. And they traded for Kobe White. You know, later on. Um, he had more talent in Charlotte. So that's why, I see the records. But again, the Knipple,
Breadman, what you mentioning the talent part, right?
yeah.
But their numbers weren't different. So you're telling me with Cooper Flag, you had way less talent, right? And
Mhm.
you only averaged 2.5 points more than Con Knipple on a loaded kind of, not, I don't want to say loaded, but on a good team. Like for me, if Coop would have averaged 24, 7, and 6, oh, your hands down, it's his.
Yeah,
Who else
yeah.
could it be? But
You know.
comparing the teams, and you're only 2.5 points better than him.
Yeah,
I
Kobe
think
White was not Kobe White. I mean, Con Knipple was not double teamed as much as Cooper Flag was. Cooper Flag got those stats, being double teamed, being the one with the ball. Because he was the point forward of the team. You know,
yeah, I can see that.
being double teamed basically the whole game. It's they had no one else. You know,
Yeah, I can see that. I can
you
see
know,
that.
again, it. I would vote. I would have probably voted for Conkinapple, but I see why they voted for Cooper Flag. Again, that it was a tight race, man, and
Very,
when he
very
dropped
tight.
the when he dropped the 50, I guess the voters decided, you know what, he deserves it. You know what I mean? Look, he's a rookie. What is he? 19 years old, the kid.
Yeah,
Dro-
yeah.
Dropping 50 in the league. Last rookie who dropped 50 was Brandon Jennings, point guard. Remember Brandon Jennings?
Yep, of
You know,
course. Of course. Lefty from
yeah,
Milwaukee.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
So
he's 19
it's
and Khan is 20.
yeah. So I think that's what the league saw. He was the number one pick, and it was a tight race. You see one
It was
guy,
very tight.
yeah, so you know, if it was my vote, if we were voters, I would have voted. I would have gave the good vote
I
to
would
Con
agree.
Canepo
But like I
for
said,
what he did with his
I don't
team. But
I don't think it's like we can scream about it. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought both deserved, but I felt like was the name a help, like Cooper Flag,
Yeah,
next big
yeah,
thing,
yeah. Most
like.
definitely, most definitely.
But like I said, it was both had a great shot to win, could have won.
Yeah,
But like I said back then when we had that episode, we both agreed it was Khan. I still think it should have been Khan, but I don't think it was like, oh, it shouldn't have been Coop. Yeah, they both could
yeah,
have had. I just thought it should have been
yeah.
more to Khan. Now with the draft coming up, right? Bro, I'm gonna tell you, the NBA is a joke, right? I think they're trying to do anything possible to compete with the NFL. Like, I didn't even know that the NBA had 2 days of draft.
2 days, and it's not needed. It's not
Who
needed.
after pick like probably 15,
Yes.
16, we're not gonna know anyone that's getting picked up.
No,
I
no.
think they're
Unless a
trying to
player
do too
drops.
much, right? And
Yeah.
to have the lottery balls and have these players there with their moms, right, on Mother's Day. What? Why? Like, I don't understand the logic behind it. Like, bro, stay home and figure it out like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
normal way. And then here we go. Like, I didn't see the reason to have these players there. And then they were gonna ask questions, and I'm like,
And
what? Why is she asking him like a question? These players don't know where they're gonna go.
yeah, yeah.
These
And
players
it's
don't know who's gonna
happening.
go
Yeah,
1,
and
2, or 3.
it's happening more and more every year. You're starting to get more players in these draft lottery shows, with their families, and
It's
pretty soon they're gonna have a
crazy,
green room for them.
bro. It's
They're
and
gonna
then
have a green room.
when I saw the 2 days, I'm like, who
Yeah.
the fuck
No,
wants to
there's no
watch
need.
2 days
There's
of
no.
NBA draft?
Uh, Nobody watches the second day of the NBA draft unless you're someone
It's
who
people that probably don't
really.
even like after the 10th pick ain't gonna watch the rest of the first round draft.
No, no, no. Let me tell you something about this drafting.
Go ahead.
That out of the top 10 players who are going to be drafted in the first round, I guarantee, knock it, at least 8 of them will have an All-Star appearance in their career. That's how deep this draft is.
No, there's no.
Out of,
Yeah, I'm gonna back you up and say I agree. It finally it's been. I feel like every year it's just 1 or 2, and then we don't know about nobody
yeah,
else.
we don't know about them. Yes, that's
I
how
feel
it
like
usually
this
is.
year has
Yeah.
an opportunity to have a lot
Hmm.
of good talent.
Yes.
You know who?
Yeah.
I'm not big on Flemings.
You're not on Kingston Flemings?
I'm not. I don't know. I've
I
seen him
am.
play.
I
I
am.
seen Acuff play, and I'm like, I see why. I see Flemings. I'm like, not impressed by
I,
me. I don't
I
know.
tell you right now, teams better select. If you want a good floor general, Kingston Fleming is one of them. Guy can not only play, he can play defense, he could lead your team. Acuff is another different story. He's gonna be watch. He's gonna be amazing. I'll tell you this: Grizzlies. You have the third pick in the draft. Cameron Bruiser, hell of a player. Guy, he's gonna at least be an all-star in this league. I'll tell you that. He's one of those guys who he's gonna make an all-star team at least once. Darius Acuff Jr. If I was the Grizzlies, I would select him with the third pick. That's how
With the
talented
third,
this kid is.
well,
With the
only
third pick
because
in the
from
draft.
what they're trying to get rid of, there's a might
Ja
opportunity
Morant.
where they
Yeah,
might
yeah,
trade
yeah.
Ja.
Trade Ja, start off with Acuff. Don't go ahead and think, oh, we're gonna pair Cameron Bruiser with Ja Morant. No, your run is over with Morant. You could actually get another pick maybe,
I
depending
agree.
on how they feel. You know, but again, it's another thing that should be done. You know, Utah should do whatever they can to go ahead and trade trade up to the
Oh,
number
he wants
one.
to go there, AJ. The
Wants to go
Bandstill
to
wants
Washington.
to go. No, he wants to
Oh,
go to
to
Utah. He's
Utah.
from
That's what
Utah,
he's from Utah. He played at
so he wants to
BYU.
play there.
That's why
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
said
was just gonna mention that
do the
too.
best you can to go ahead and bring this kid to Utah. You know what I mean? This kid is going to be an amazing talent in this league. He's had the opportunity to be the leading scorer in this league. That's how talented this kid is. He's 6'8"
Yeah,
and some change. 6'9" with shoes. You know, he produced the highest jump out of all measurements in the what is it when they jump up? You know, their what is it? when you jump up and see your oh golly, I can't get it out. But you know what I'm talking about, right? When you jump up and see how high you could jump, you know. He recorded the highest jump to this season, in measurable in the combine. AJ DeMansta, you know, and he's a three-way scorer as well. Guy's gonna be amazing, you know. And I think
No,
Peterson
I think
matches better with Washington.
Washington.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, I agree. I
you
agree.
know he could be their scorer. You got Trey Young, you got Anthony Davis, and then you
Iffy,
got
yeah,
the
that's a
score.
big if
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him.
yeah. It's you're gonna at least get 50 games maybe out of Anthony Davis, but you know, hopefully he'll be healthy enough to go ahead and lead that team. But I tell you again, the two guys out of the top 10 that I'm looking like and that I'm not too fond of is Keaton Wagler from Illinois.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, I'm not sold on that guy. And the second guy is Blueberries, the Blueberries from Arizona, Jaden Berries.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
he's the second guy. I think Cole Pete was a better player for
Did he
Arizona.
clear
Huh?
Chloe Pete?
Cole Pete's coming out this season. Yeah.
Did he? I thought he still had
Yeah.
a
Yeah, again, that's how deep the draft is. You're gonna be able to get a player like Cole Pete.
because I
Close
do
to,
know the guy that Duke got in the transfer, Blackwell,
yeah.
from Wisconsin. He's going into the NBA, whatever, to see if
To see if
he would get drafted. So it's a possibility that he won't go to Duke, which would be, if that happens, the second time. I think the last guy that was supposed to get transferred to Duke went to that and decided to stay in the NBA. I think he played for plays for Utah. Forgot who it was. But like I said, I agree. I think AJ is going to be one. He wants to go to Utah. I don't know who or in their right mind would want to go to Utah. I don't know what's there, but he is from there. So I guess that's why.
Nice flatlands, salt lands, or whatever.
What else will they
it's
have
really
there?
nice. You know, he's a Mormon. Who knows? He probably could have a few wives. You know, sister wives.
He might. So my next thing that I wanted to talk about, right, real quick though. Did you hear the beef that's going on with Draymond and Austin Rivers?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's quick breakdown about it. Right. I think Draymond's real sensitive, and you can't really say much because he went out and said the one thing that he said was something about he said thanks to Steve Kerr, that Steve Kerr is a hell of a coach, blah blah blah, but he felt that Steve Kerr kind of held him back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Heck no.
You know, I think Steve Kerr made him who he was.
Exactly. You know, it's kid. Let me tell you, Draymond Green when coming out of college, even though he was a what is he? He was a
35 pick.
35th pick in the draft. Yes.
Yeah, 35, 36, something around there.
Again, even in college, he showed exactly what he was going to do in the league. He's not a scorer. You know, plays great defense. You know, can handle the ball. Did what he needed to do to be the number 3 in that Golden State offense. Do what the other guys didn't want to do. Go out there and grab the defense. Go out there and grab the rebounds. Go out there and play defend the big man. You know, kick him in the nuts if you have to. You know,
he's used to that.
you know, and that's what he did. You know,
yeah, but
an all-star.
He's like, I didn't feel like it was he. I don't know why he's so sensitive about it, bro. Like, you got these championships. I get it, but you got put in the perfect spot. Like,
yeah.
I think Austin Rivers came back with him and saying, like, bro, like, you got a Hall of Fame general manager, Hall of Fame coach. You got 2 of the best shooters ever to play the game.
Yeah.
Hall of Famers. You had weapons with Iguodala, Livingston, Bogut when he was there.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I think me and you could have averaged 5-6 assists in that offense.
And a separated shoulder. I think so.
Like, yeah. And then, like, the guy talks a lot, man. Like, his not too long ago, he was on NBA TV or whatever it was with Shaq and Kenny, and he went at like Chuck and said, "Oh, my job is to make sure I don't end up like you in the Rockets." When Chuck went to the Rockets,
yeah.
Bro, Chuck averaged 16 in the Rockets, and I think Draymond's career average is 10. Like I don't understand why he's
Yeah.
so sensitive. So my next question to you is,
Yes, sir.
do you feel that Draymond is a Hall of Famer?
No.
Thank
No.
you.
You
Yo,
know,
I
absolutely not. In my opinion, my personal
completely
opinion,
agree with that.
you get certain teams who have certain type of role players who do their jobs. He did his job. Do he belong? See, a lot of people they're softening this this Hall of Fame thing. You have a decent career, you belong in the Hall of Fame. No, Hall of Fame should be for the best of the best. You know, not just because you played your part and did your part in a team and you won championships. That doesn't make you a Hall of Famer. Come on, you need to shut up.
Completely agree.
You need to shut up. You know what I mean?
Well,
Just keep it
because you
moving. You
have
gotta
three
go.
championships,
You
no,
yeah.
that don't mean shit.
You know what I mean? Listen, Robert Horry won 11 championships. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He
No,
belongs to the Hall of
listen,
Fame. You know?
100% agree, man. I was hearing somebody mention it, and they like, oh, he's a Hall of Famer. Why? Because he has three championships. Did he play a
Yeah.
viral part? Yes, he played a good part on it, but he's not the reason why he has three
No.
championships. Like, what else in the league have you done besides won three championships? I completely agree.
Yeah.
I would love to have a discussion with somebody who thinks he is a
He
Hall of
punched
Famer.
Jordan Poole. That's what he did.
Yeah, he runs off players. That's what he normally is. I
tells
don't.
KD, we don't need you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the three championships that he got blew his head up to where he thinks he's a big deal on the team. Bro, I swear to God, you put him on a team that's not loaded with Steph and Clay and Durant and on all these and Iguodala, he might be a bench player. You can't shoot the three. You can't shoot free throws. Bro, you would be taken out of the game if you were a main option on a team.
No, he's not a main option at all. Again, he did his part. Much respect to Draymond Green. He did his part. He did what was needed for that Golden State Warriors team to win. And like I always tell my daughter when you're playing softball, do your part. And he did his part for his team. Is he a Hall of Famer? No way. Sorry, not in my book.
Never will I say he didn't help win a championship. He helped.
Yeah.
That's what role players do. You weren't the reason why it happened.
Yeah. Not all role players belong in the Hall of Fame. It's because you did your part.
100%.
Not all Hall of Fame.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
Be happy. Maybe Golden State Warriors Ring of Fame. The Ring of Honor type stuff.
Yes.
You want to retire his jersey, retire his jersey. You know what I mean? They retired Ugasca's jersey in Cleveland.
I completely agree with that. Completely agree. So yeah, so basically this episode that we just had was a lot of basketball talk, right?
Yeah.
We do need to get back to where we speak about more. I don't think, like I said, with the whole baseball, I think it's still too early, even though like the Mets are really, really struggling. I know they brought up a prospect today. So we're not gonna really discuss baseball until like I guess once basketball is over, we have more time to discuss it.
Yeah.
We can talk about the NFL for a quick second, where we spoke about the first round of the draft. That was the last episode we had. I would have to look all over to find out. I think when our next episode we should discuss more of the like who do you think won the draft?
Yeah. It's a lot of
the only thing I think we can discuss now, because I would like, because that's the one sport that we all go different, right? I think it would be great to have all four on.
Yes.
And Paulo could discuss how he feels what the Bears did. Well, you could discuss your Giants move. I could discuss
blue.
And Mike can discuss his Cowboys. And you guys can discuss the first Sunday night game of the year between the Giants and the Cowboys as well. But we can't sit. I can ask you, how do you feel with the Giants' whole draft? Was it
I was happy. Again, we mentioned it last episode. Was I happy about Arvell Reese? The more I look into it, the more I see. I am, but again, I love the Magia the lineman from Miami's pick.
Oh,
Hell
my
of a
why?
pick.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
know who you're
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. So, I love the Malachi Fields pick. He's not as fast, but he is a physical receiver. He's pretty
Yeah,
big, you know. And again, I thought we did well. I thought we did what we had to do in the draft. And our cornerback who we picked up also, he was supposed to go from Tennessee. He was
Jalen Hood.
supposed to go higher. Yeah, he was supposed
Jalen
to go
Hood.
higher, and we landed him. He could be a decent number two. Um, yes, yeah, but again, with Arvo Reese, my thing is, I've never been a huge fan of guys who are good at everything.
But not one
That's why
thing.
they want one thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Potentially, they believe he can be a hell of a pass rusher if they decide to put him in. But again, he was good at that. He wasn't great, and he was
You know what
and
it is?
also,
I completely agree, Redman, right? Like, I
mhm.
think too many players, the upside was too big to pass, right?
Yes, yes,
But I think Micah Parsons is the reason for it, right? Where
yeah,
he's kind of ruining and like the top, like the player that people want, right? But it's hard to get that, right?
yeah,
Micah Parsons is a Swiss Army knife, right? He can do it all.
hmm
That's what
yeah,
I guess they think Ava Reese can be. But listen, I don't need you to be a Swiss Army knife. I just need you to be a knife.
yes, yes.
That,
You're so
I,
right
that
on that
I
one. I
agree
totally
with.
agree.
I don't need you to do everything. I need you to
Yeah.
do one thing good. Like
Hmm.
I don't want the potential of, oh, he could possibly be a good rusher, then pass back and play. No, no,
Yeah.
just be a rusher. Just
Yeah.
do that job. That I agree. That's why I feel
Hmm.
like I think you can't really give it a complete grade to see until
Yeah.
you see what he's
We got to
capable
see what he actually is going to bring to the table this off season, this
of.
season coming up.
And
You know,
with my
your Miami Dolphins.
with the Dolphins, I don't know. Like I think there's some picks that I loved. There's some that I like. I left my head scratching. Like the first round picks, it left my head scratching. Right. I do see it's like what you said, the potential of both. Right. Like with
Hmm.
Caden Proctor, bro. You can't teach strength and height
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. You can't.
he's different. Right. He's a monster.
Hmm.
Right. I don't like the fact how he's going to play a position that he's not accustomed to yet. The cornerback, I don't feel we needed to trade to get these players, right? But with the Proctor, that's the guy they wanted at 11 or at 12, where we were
Yeah.
at. So if that's the guy you had locked in, I agree with it because you got two picks at the end of in the fifth round from the Cowboys. Chris Johnson, I see potential, but I'm not impressed by his tape. The one pick that I love is Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker.
Yes. Yes. The linebacker. Yes.
I think, and we do have a lot of luck with Texas Tech linebackers because Zach
Hmm.
Thomas and Jordan Brooks is from there. I think that's going to be the best player from this draft, hands down. How he had every award in college, and to fall that far back in
Hmm.
the second round makes no
Yeah.
sense to me. And that's why I sit there and I say, I'm not a fan of combines. I don't need to see how fast you
Yeah.
run
Yes.
in underwear. I don't need to see how fast you jump. I want to
Hmm.
see what you do on tape.
On tape.
And to
Hmm.
see what he did and to be drafted in the second round is that pick
Yeah.
I'm all for. And then our the receiver we chose, I think we reached. Like, can he be good? I guess, but to take him in the third round when he could have been taken in the fifth, I hear a lot of people who he wasn't even on people's boards.
Mhm.
So you could have picked another position that we needed and got him later. I do love the pick Chris Bell that we had,
Okay.
Louisville receiver. So like I said, we could discuss more on that. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I think if I'm not mistaken, the schedule comes out tomorrow, which is a great thing. Because football is all year round. But on my end, I'm done. I don't know if you have any topics you want to talk
No,
about, or we can come
I'm
back,
done as well.
see if we
Yeah.
can
Well,
try to get back on another day this week. If you're free, I'm pretty much free on Thursday. I could do Friday night. Whatever. We could discuss and
Yeah,
see.
we'll figure something out. Thursday will be my best day. I got a softball game, softball practice. Well, my daughter has softball practice, but I don't even miss those. Softball. She went 3 for 4 the other day.
That's great.
In her
That's
game,
great.
four
She
four
already got
RBIs.
more hits than you
Yeah,
in
yes
one
she does.
game
Yes she does.
in your
Like
career.
I tell everyone, it sucks. As she comes. She's not athletically gifted. You see Kylie, Sandy's daughter. You see how you see her videos. You see her slinging. You see when she's how she swings. Athletically gifted. My daughter's short, little stocky, a little stout. You know, but she can see that ball. You know,
Well, listen,
she 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 makes
not too
contact.
long ago, I don't know if it was no, it wasn't this draft. It was the draft before our fantasy draft. I spoke with Gil, and I'm like,
Hmm.
she's got talent. Like you could
Yeah.
tell. And I'm like, I want my daughter to play, but like
Hmm.
I haven't put her in. And he was like, bro, like he's like, I think he said she just started playing like a year ago before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
she's probably been playing
You know.
softball for 3 years. It is
Yeah. My
genetics,
my daughter. Yeah. Yeah.
and
My
she did
daughter
have a
started playing.
brother who was
Yeah.
like real good at baseball
Yeah. Of
too, Brandon.
course.
So, which is
You
great,
know.
and that's
And
probably more.
she's an Amaral. She's part Amaral. So
What do you mean?
that's
Tone and Naz ain't got no
yeah,
skills.
listen, them
Naz
guys
was a
is
hack.
nice. Them guys,
Naz was a hack.
listen. You had to see early Nash. That's the thing. You had
Oh,
to see
before he fell off the roof, Naz.
before he twisted that ankle and ended up with the kickstand. I'm telling you, that man was, it was one of the best playing. Tony just always been great, growing up. I don't know them guys. You guys, you Portuguese always ended up with talent. I don't know. You were different than both of your brothers.
Oh,
Sorry, Mike and
100%,
Phil, but
100%.
you know, I wasn't good at all. I was just used to be there just to go ahead and get a chance to play. You know, wearing my triple fat goose. But again, going to her game, she has to work twice as hard. Because she's not physically gifted.
100. I agree.
So you know what I mean. So, but to see her go on the field and just you know,
And
hit
just have
shots,
fun,
it's
bro.
she's
Just have fun.
yeah. That's what I tell her. That's the number one rule.
That's
Have
it.
fun. So again, Wednesday I got practice. She has practice. Friday we have practice. We got a game Saturday and no game Saturday. We're off Saturday. Sunday we have playoffs. She has 2 games on Sunday, so it's a lot of fun. Um, I try to post. I want to post more videos of her playing, but again, I'm like, I say when I record, is when she strikes out.
I hear you.
So I rather not just, I'd rather her just go out there and do your thing, do your part, have
Yeah,
fun.
I felt the
You
same
know.
way. My girl, my daughter playing basketball. She played
Hmm.
wasn't the best setup. She had an all
Hmm.
girls team, but played against all boys. Right.
Oh,
The whole it was I think like 6 teams, no
yeah,
4 or 5 teams, and she was the only girls team. And I'm like, every time she would play, I would put my phone to record, and then I'm like, damn, I feel like when I do it, she struggles.
yeah.
But I'm like, the moment I'm gonna turn it off, I'm gonna miss it. I'm like,
That's what happens.
I'll just
That's
record.
what happens.
But
That's what
but yeah,
happens.
like I said, we'll try to get back on Thursday. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about Paulo,
Hmm.
see what he's
Hmm.
see if he's free.
Yeah,
Talk to Mike.
yeah.
But I'll be free on Thursday. I think I'm off. I have nothing to do besides work around the house. But like I said, another good episode, Breadman. I enjoy talking
Yes,
to you about
yes,
sports.
sir. Me too, my brother.
So
You know.
I'll be posting this soon. Thank you to all the followers that we have,
Yes.
subscribers. Please continue to like our videos,
Well,
and we'll try
again,
to post more.
I always say, make sure, if you guys just let us know what you guys want to see or want to hear. If there's anything you guys can help us grow our podcast, so we can perform or, do better,
Completely
and
agree. So please, fellas,
yeah,
ladies,
definitely.
check our podcast out, check the video, check the episode, and hit subscribe and like, man. We appreciate it, man. Love. And we'll get back to you on the next episode.
Yeah,
Be good,
buddy.
everyone. Peace out,
Uh,
Breadman.
Good night, my brother. Bye bye.
Peace.